All right, so today we're gonna learn about biological magnification. It's a big deal. This was one of your topics for the poster walk, but it's a big enough deal that I wanted to cover it a second time because it affects us pretty drastically. And you will find out why here in a minute. So, we are gonna pretend that we have an ocean ecosystem right there. Everything in here is water, it's the ocean, okay? And you know what we used to do? Super bad. Super bad. We used to just make our chemicals and do our stuff, and then we would, so a lot of times they use cooling water, they use water for all sorts of things, and this is called wastewater, and we would just dump it into oceans and streams and all that fun stuff, and we know that all rivers end up in the ocean, okay? So we did super bad, terrible things like that. Now, were we caring what was in that wastewater? No, we weren't caring, okay? So sometimes there was particles of super bad things, okay? So in this case, we're gonna be talking about mercury. Mercury is that metal that floats in your hand. I don't know if you guys are old enough, but when I was a kid, I'd break a thermometer, not on purpose, and then you'd play with the metal goo inside the thermometer, and that was mercury, and that was super fun because it was a liquid at room temperature, kind of like gallium. Doesn't take a lot to move up. So, mercury. So we're gonna pretend that this waste stream is pumping out waste and it has mercury in it, okay? So now the water has mercury in it. So at the base of most aquatic food chains are this thing called phytoplankton. Okay, and they're very microscopic. They're tiny. And there's a whole bunch of them, and they kind of look like this and like this, and they're just super tiny, just living the dream of the phytoplankton life. Okay, and they're multiplying. And while they're growing in this environment that has mercury in it. Okay? When something uses mercury, gets in your body, it doesn't leave. This is a chemical, an element that your body or an animal's body cannot get rid of. Okay? You cannot pee it out, you cannot poop it out. It stays in your body. Okay?
Mercury does?
Yep. Most heavy metals do. Lead, zinc, things like that. Okay? So, stays in your body. So, when we make our food chain, we're gonna go up and krill, these things called krill, eat that phytoplankton. Krill's pretty tiny in itself. Krill looks like a shrimp. So here comes my horrible shrimp representations. And that's like this, and then that's a shrimp. And these are still fairly microscopic. Okay. Does that totally look like shrimps? I don't know.
Good enough.
Okay, thank you, Liam. Thank you. They have little arms. Okay, so here's our shrimp, our krill, our little baby shrimp. So, what does how many of these little phytoplanktons do you think that krill eats? 8? Okay, fair enough. So it's gonna eat these 8 right here. Okay? All of that mercury, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, is now gonna be in that krill. Head up, Kyle. Okay? And this one's eating 8 as well, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? Because this level has to eat a whole bunch of this level to survive. Okay? Do you guys know what eats krill?
Whales?
Whales. Are whales tiny?
No.
Whales are not tiny. As a matter of fact, whales are biggins, right? And he's got a fin and a fin. He's got an overbite. It's okay. It's all right. Okay? So here's our whale. How many krill do you think whale eat a day? They eat 40 million krill a day to stay alive.
Delicious.
They are delicious, right? Who doesn't love shrimp?
Delicious water.
Okay, however, guess what comes with the krill? The mercury be going with the krill. Okay, so anything the krill has eaten has accumulated into the krill. Now that mercury is going to accumulate in the whale. And the whale, I don't even think I can do 40 million dots. Well, that's 8. 8 times 40 million. Oh, snap. So you can see how this goes up and up and up. And it's a problem. Did we used to eat whales? Yeah, we did. We almost hunted them to extinction for their blubber. And like a whole whale could feed a village for a whole winter, right? So, how's that mercury gonna affect us?
I don't think we eat whales anymore.
We don't. There are some tribes that have the legal right to hunt the whales and eat them, and they use every single part of them. We don't, by and large, eat whales anymore, but we used to.
Judging by the size and the shape, it kind of looks more like a tuna fish.
It's a whale because I said it's a whale. Okay, so biomagnification. It occurs with more things than just mercury. Okay, here's the phytoplankton. They just have a little bit. It gets magnified because these krill eat a whole bunch of this. It gets super magnified because this whale eats a whole bunch of this. And the body can't excrete it. A lot of times it goes to the fats of the body and it just doesn't detoxify. You don't get rid of it. Okay? Any questions?